I'm still alive. I refuse to go away.
Fox Files asks the question, is there life after Seinfeld?
Ah, the mighty Alaskan cabbage.
Fox Files with Catherine Cryer, John Scott, Catherine Herridge, Chris Cuomo, Amy Holmes, Eric Shawn.
Good evening, I'm John Scott.
And I'm Catherine Cryer. Welcome to Fox Files. Ice, crystal, crank, whatever you call it, methamphetamine is a dangerous form of speed that has become an epidemic in small towns across America.
It's cheap, easy to make, and so potent that it makes even first-time users commit unthinkable crimes. Tonight, Chris Cuomo is on the front lines in America's war against meth madness.
There's a new enemy on the streets, and to combat it, you have to dress to kill. The enemy is methamphetamine, and everything about it is deadly. Meth users kill. They kill strangers and each other. They frequently kill cops. They even kill their own children. Meth addicts carry pistols, sawed-off shotguns, and assault rifles. On this bust of a meth lab in the Arizona desert, they get lucky. This time, no hostile fire. Nothing to stop them but a pack of attack dogs.
Does any other drug pose as big a problem to you to stop as meth does?
No, not today, not this week, not last week. This is a horrendous, awful thing, you know, meth.
We are in the midst of one of the worst drug epidemics in world history.
How many times have I got f***ed up physically, mentally, under the influence, Lee? I keep coming back.
This is Pyro. He just got stomped at a Chicago club, but violence is an accepted part of his life. He's a speed freak, addicted to methamphetamine.
I'm hard-headed. I don't learn. I don't listen. I gotta learn it for myself. You tell me, don't touch the stove, it's hot, you're gonna get burned. I'm like, you are? Yeah. How do you know it? Because it's common sense. But you never done it, have you? You know, it's common sense.
Even fun for Pyro is intense and brutal, like here in the mosh pit of a club.
When people get meth, are they getting like a good pure drug?
No. What they're getting is a combination of lye, red devil. They're not getting a pharmaceutical drug by no means.
Somebody go back in your house, get off the street.
Move over cocaine, get lost heroin, and forget pot. There's a new drug on the streets, meth, and it's unlike any drug ever. In the 60s, it was known as speed and not associated with death. The 90s version is different. It's fueling violence beyond all reason. And meth has provoked unbelievable acts of savagery by parents against their own children.
People are doing things to their loved ones under the influence of this drug that no one would do if you put a gun to their head.
Dr. Alex Stalcup has been treating drug addicts for 30 years. He says meth is far more dangerous than crack. Simply put, it's the most dangerous drug ever.
There has never been a drug like this. And I very much want people to stop thinking about the current methamphetamine like that diet pill they took when they were in college. The drug is stronger, it lasts longer, it produces more violence. It's simpler and easier to make. And unlike cocaine, which has to be imported, this is a homegrown drug.
Meth is both a homegrown and a small-town drug, and it's devastating unsuspecting communities. How bad is the meth problem in Independence, Missouri?
It's bad. We've got a major epidemic in it.
Are you surprised that the problem is so bad in such a rural, out-of-the-way place?
Yeah, because this is a mid-America, middle America. You wouldn't think Harry Truman's home. I mean, you just wouldn't think that was going to happen here.
It does.
It does.
Missouri cops like Len Hill and Ken Bergman busted fewer than 50 speed labs 2 years ago. This year, they'll bust nearly 500. They're trying to destroy the drug before the drug destroys more lives. And where meth goes, death follows.
I'm talking about a drug that induces violent behavior, that creates violence in people who never have been violent, wouldn't think of being violent.
Meth poisons the air, even in the pastoral mountains of California.
Guns, speed, violence, and sex, and that's what it's all about.
Billy comes from a wealthy family. His wealth comes from manufacturing and selling speed.
It goes for about, I sell it for $125 an 8-ball. An 8-ball.
Meth is big business in his little town. Even Billy's next-door neighbor had a lab, until it exploded.
When I do speed, I have nothing else to do but look for motherfuckers to break off, because I think everybody's a f***ing lame, and I love violence. It just pumps me up, bro. It turns me into this f***ing nut. It makes people steal. It makes people kill. It makes people just want to wheel and deal.
In the methamphetamine community, people carry weapons. They carry knives and guns. And when they're paranoid, they use them with little provocation. You need to take arms against imagined enemies, because these folks are always paranoid once they've used enough.
Speed so distorts reality that your own child can become your deadliest enemy. On a New Mexico highway, Eric Starr Smith stabbed his 14-year-old son 60 times, then cut off his head and threw it out of the car. In Mesa, Arizona, Lynn Cox stabbed her 4-year-old son over 150 times. And in Pomona, California, Denise Bales beat her 5-week-old son to death. After a 5-day speed binge and crime spree, Christopher Kaufman and his stepbrother, Jamie McMahon, were arrested in Florida. They were so wasted on meth and sleeplessness, they couldn't even explain why they murdered 2 women they knew.
Crank and me and him were up for like 5 or 6 days at that time.
The average length of a crack binge is somewhere between 12 and 24 hours. Well, the shortest speed binges are 3 or 4 days. Their function is deteriorating, but their mental state is that they're doing great. The more they use, the greater they feel, and the worse they do.
Both boys are now doing life without parole. Maricopa County in Arizona has launched a first strike assault on meth. A multi-agency task force led by the Sheriff's Department is taking down labs almost daily.
Is this what a typical lab looks like?
This is what a typical lab that we're running into in the Phoenix area looks like. It can be as complicated as the most well-stocked lab commercially, or it can be made on a hot plate with a mason jar. Most of these are Beavis and Butthead labs. These people are not rocket scientists.
Looks like ground-up tablets.
Ground-up tablets?
Boy, this is like one whacked-out chemistry set, this thing.
It's the chemistry set of the 90s.
How do you make crank? Neo, which is just an extra-strength nasal decongestant drop.
This is Red. She's only 17, but she can brew a few hits of street meth literally in the street.
This is we have just vitamin. When this dries, we'll have crank. You have to have a nice little setup. Taste. Crystal. I just made crystal.
These drugs are too good, they're too cheap, they're too strong. It's going to hit the big cities.
Is meth on the move, or is it contained?
Yeah, I think meth is on the move. It's moved from California through Arizona, through the Midwest, through the Carolinas, and it's made the entire journey across country.
Ricky Mouse, you have any drugs? I'll have to run you in.
Personally, myself, I don't mind sharing, but actually, I would rather have a needle to myself, you know, than sharing. But I feel bad for my friends, you know, say, hey, he's got some dope and he needs a needle. I'm flying, I'm spun.
This is Chucky. He fit right into L.A. after arriving from a little town in Minnesota, a state with a raging meth epidemic. Chucky's back in his hometown now. He's buried there. He OD'd here on Hollywood Boulevard. And south of L.A., the meth menace is much worse.
San Diego County is an example of what happens when methamphetamine reaches an urban environment. It's not a pretty picture.
Everybody go back in your house, get off the street.
It was in San Diego that Sean Nelson stole a tank during the depths of a meth stupor.
He's running over fire hydrants.
For 6 miles, he destroyed almost everything in his path, injuring a mother and her child.
Oh my God.
Officers finally clambered onto the tank and killed Nelson. Also in San Diego, Gary Tashner had been speeding for 4 days when he fired off 1,000 rifle rounds in his own apartment. Then he opened up on the SWAT team, wounding 2 and killing Lonnie Brewer. a newlywed.
The drug induces this mental trickery concept, creates a sense that you're invulnerable, that you are powerful, that you are Rambo to the extreme, and carry heavy weaponry, and they'll use it.
Tashner's weapon finally jammed. The SWAT weapons didn't. The rampage was over. Meth has made police officers more at risk than ever. In Riverside, California, 2 sheriff's deputies responded to a call for help from a battered wife. The husband, meth addict Timothy Russell, ambushed the deputies, killing both. In Yuma, Arizona, Jack Hudson, a decorated sheriff's deputy, murdered 2 fellow officers. Hudson, who tested positive for meth, swore he didn't remember shooting the 2 members of his own anti-drug task force. In Denver, policeman Bruce Vanderjack chased a burglary suspect at this apartment complex. Hopelessly outgunned, Officer Vanderjack died at the scene. In a Los Angeles suburb, meth addict Chris Golly shot to death his father, a policewoman, and then himself. He was 17 years old.
Teenagers are using this drug. Crack cocaine was very largely an adult phenomenon, and probably a third of our methamphetamine users are under 17.
I'm slamming it just to have a different rush, you know? Just to have a different high.
Remember Pyro? He's the kid who said he'd touch a red-hot stove to experience the sensation.
If I have speed, that's the best drug for me in the world. It's better than bud, it's better than acid. When I do drugs, I do not want to do drugs to OD. I'm not intending to OD.
Pyro, his eyes won't even move. I've never seen anything like that before in my life.
Now, the teenaged meth freak is experiencing an overdose. Pyro doped himself to the edge long before he got to this concert. He's been doing speed for days, and his body craves sleep. But if Pyro's done other drugs along with the meth, and if he goes to sleep, he could also go into cardiac arrest.
Pyro, we gotta make sure you stay awake, okay?
Pyro will survive this overdose anyway. But meth does kill. It kills you, and it kills everything you love.
Hey, now you gotta give me a transfer.
Maybe Pyro finally learned that. Probably not. You can't learn much on meth.
I'm still walking, I'm still breathing. Pyro ain't ever going away.
Well, the battle against meth is raging. California and Missouri have recently enacted tough laws, and there are currently at least 10 bills pending in Congress designed to fight this meth epidemic.
Coming up, Catherine Cryer's exclusive interview with Tommy Lee.
The videotape. What are you going to think the first time your kids download that off the internet?
I'll be able to explain that mom and dad were on a vacation doing what adults do.
Then, where oh where did the Seinfeld cast go?
There is life after Seinfeld.
The first time I used Mentadent, I knew it was different.
Mentadent is different. That's because it's the only toothpaste with dentist-recommended fluoride, baking soda, and peroxide in a pump. So it activates on contact with a burst of oxygenated bubbles that give your teeth, your gums, your whole mouth a fresh sensation of clean.
You can feel the bubbles working, and I love what Mentadent does for my teeth.
Mentadent Clean. So clean, you can feel it. For more oral care information, call 1-877-FEELS-GREAT.
Chevrolet would like to bring you this special announcement.
New Chevy cars and trucks are heading your way.
Right now, your local Chevy dealer is offering great deals.
During the Chevy model year clearance, with deals on the cars more Americans trust. Chevrolet. Get 0.9 or 750 back on Lumina. 0.9 or 1,000 back on Cavalier Coupe. Now get 0.9 or 1,000 back on Malibu. And 0.9 or 2,000 back on Camaro. See all the great deals on 98 models at your local Chevy dealer now. During the Chevy model year clearance.
This Thursday through Saturday will be unseasonably cool. Just use your Sears card, and we'll take a cool 10% off everything you buy, even sale prices. How cool is that?
The one card for the many sides of Sears.
With all we have to do today, does it make sense to keep color on your hair for 30 minutes when you can get rid of the gray in 5? Just 5. Great color, body, and shine, and 5 gentle minutes. Just 5. Smart hair color. Works for me.
Walk over there and I'll take a picture.
Introducing the incredible power of new Duracell Ultra.
That's lovely, Julian. That's lovely. Wait a minute. By the statue.
Now cameras get faster flashes, up to 100 more pictures.
That's it. Lovely. Let yourself go.
New Duracell Ultra with a concentrated power force to give more life to your high-tech devices.
Oh, yes. Work it. Work it.
New Duracell Ultra. More power, more life.
People are talking about the original 10 o'clock news on Fox 2. Readers of the San Francisco Chronicle have voted it the best local newscast and named KTVU's Dennis Richmond as best TV anchor. Join Dennis Richmond and Leslie Griffith weeknights on the original 10 o'clock news. The Bay Area is watching.
This is not just another rock and roll story. Motley Crue drummer Tommy Lee was living the rock and roll dream until it got the better of him. He recently served 4 months in jail for assaulting his wife, Pamela Anderson Lee. When he got out, Tommy and I sat down for this exclusive, no-holds-barred interview.
From the time I was 17 until now, 35, I've just about had and done everything I ever wanted to do.
Tommy Lee is the ultimate rock and roll bad boy, always living on the edge, always with the world's most beautiful women, always getting into trouble. He and his band Motley Crue dominated the heavy metal music scene in the 80s and early 90s. Every album went multi-platinum, bringing in millions of dollars. Motley Crue would become one of the most successful rock and roll bands of all time. The band's exploits would make headlines as they tangled with the law through years of drugs, sex, and violence. Tommy's legal problems stacked up over the years as his notorious temper fueled violent confrontations with the women in his life and paparazzi. His tempestuous marriage to the stunningly beautiful Heather Locklear would end in divorce in 1993 amid rumors of spousal abuse. In 1994, Tommy set his sights on knockout Baywatch star Pamela Anderson. The next year, after a 5-day whirlwind romance in Cancun, Tommy Lee and bikini-clad Pamela Anderson exchanged vows. Millions of uninvited guests got into bed with the newlyweds when a triple X-rated sex video was stolen from the pair and released on the internet.
Hey, baby, happy birthday.
Naked. The high-profile marriage was soon shattered by violence when Tommy was arrested for kicking Pamela while she held their then 7-week-old baby Dylan as 21-month-old Brandon watched in horror. Pamela filed for divorce in February of this year. Tommy pled no contest to spousal abuse and served 4 months in LA County Jail. He was released on September 8th. Fox Files sat down with Tommy Lee only days after his release from jail in the home he had shared with Pamela in Malibu.
Tommy, you wanted to talk to people, to talk about what you've been going through, changes that you've been going through. Why?
Because there's a huge misconception about me. Unfortunately, the media and my bad boy reputation is at ridiculous proportions right now. And I just thought this would be a good opportunity for people to get to know me because there's a lot of things that people don't know.
What did we not know?
Well, I obviously made a mistake. And I'm changing some of the things in my life. People are saying, you know, that I have beaten Pamela. That is not true. That's just not true. Grabbing a woman and shaking a woman is not cool either. But that's what was done, and there's just a lot of misconceptions.
People look at you, and you do have a rap sheet for assaults.
These are situations that, yes, I could have handled them in a different way, and now I will. In many ways, I was protecting my wife and myself and our privacy. And for instance, with the photographer at the Viper Room, I never intended to harm the man, ever. I was scared.
Tell me about the security guard at the concert.
I had asked the crowd to come forward and get out of their seats, which is, I never attacked anybody. I wasn't violent towards anybody. I never got in a confrontation with the security guard.
Is that what you pled guilty to, assaulting him?
I pled guilty to assault because it was a lesser charge for me, and I could do the time concurrently in the LA County Jail, and that would be reduced to a misdemeanor in a short time.
For the first time, Tommy Lee would face the music. He was sentenced to 6 months in jail for kicking his wife as she held their baby son on February 26th of this year. He served 4 months of the 6-month sentence in isolation at the LA County Jail. If you hadn't had a name, you'd probably be doing some serious time.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Sometimes I think, you know, maybe the judges and lawyers could have been more severe with me, and maybe none of this would have happened with Pamela and I don't really know.
Straight. Things that go on the inside are not easily seen necessarily by others on the outside.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I saw some things I really loved about myself. I saw some things I hated about myself.
What's the best thing about Tommy Lee?
Best thing about Tommy Lee? I'm a really lovable person. I'm talented. I'm attractive. I'm
modest, obviously.
Yeah. I have a passion for just about everything.
What's the worst?
Well, up until recently, the worst thing about me was me not being able to control my anger. I hate that.
Why do you think that was?
I think because at such a young age, from the time I was 17 until now, 35, I've just about had and done everything I ever wanted to do. There's a certain experience that comes along with being in a rock and roll band, traveling all over the world, staying in hotels, flying in private jets, doing anything you want to do. And it's almost like if you were to get in trouble, somebody could get you out of it.
But this time, Tommy Lee is confronting the truth and the consequences of his actions. Is it physical abuse to do what you've done to Pamela?
Absolutely. Absolutely. No one should be treated that way. Nobody.
Why would you do that? I mean, what was it about your anger that would make you lash out physically?
Just not having the techniques to not let that happen. There's a lot of pressure. We've been going through a lot of stuff. So now, sex tapes appearing, old boyfriend sex tapes appearing, new children, postpartum, my frustration, two new babies. Tommy comes third now instead of first. I'm a new father. I don't know how to deal with that. That's a first for me too. Just start stacking them all up. And you got a guy who really, the whole argument stemmed that evening from me wanting some love. You got two people in two pretty crazy lifestyles trying to be the best parents they can and also remain lovers and best friends. It's a challenge.
The couple is still in litigation with the company that released that unauthorized sex tape onto the internet, picturing the couple sharing some pretty intimate moments while on vacation. The videotape. Lots been written about the videotape. What are you going to think the first time your kids download that off the internet?
I'll be able to explain that Mom and Dad were on a vacation doing what adults do. There's nothing on there that adults don't do, especially people that are married. The hardest thing to explain will be how it got stolen and how some psycho decided to mass produce it and put it all over the world. Put it out without our approval. That's going to be hard to explain.
Are you guys making money off the film?
Absolutely zero. We felt and still feel very violated. I mean, those are some private moments. You know, I'm horrified. It's not cool. And to think that, you know, it was such a weird time. We were remodeling the house for Brandon to be born. We were told by our construction company, put all your valuables in your safe. It's about the size of a refrigerator. Cameras, videotapes, wedding photos, jewelry, you name it, everything of value, because the house is pretty much open to a lot of workers in here. And Pamela and I went to England for Christmas, and we came back, and the safe was gone, the whole safe. I mean, one guy, impossible. Two guys, still very difficult to get the safe out. Gone. You know, we didn't plan this.
What did you think sitting in jail that Dylan at 6 or 7 weeks was in Pamela's arms and that Brandon was watching the altercation that put you in jail? I mean, at 6 or 7 weeks, accident, fate could have left you with one son instead of two. Has that ever crossed your mind?
Not during it. Not during it. Afterwards, absolutely. Not during it. It's not being very mindful, is it? Not being very aware. And it's also not. It's also, you know, I take responsibility for me. It's also not mindful of the mother of the children swinging at me holding a 7-week-old child either. There's two unaware people here. It's not cool.
So during all of this, the two of you were going at each other as opposed to this being your action?
Yes, ma'am. You don't hit girls. I never hit Pamela. I grabbed and shaked Pamela. I never hit her. I've never hit her in my life. I would never do that. That's insanity is what that is. I would never, ever do that.
Have you talked to Pamela?
I call to say hello to the kids and we talk. But it became very challenging for me to talk to her when friends of mine had called me in jail and seen her with her, while we're still married, dating her old boyfriend. I couldn't really, it became too much of a challenge, so I just speak to my kids right now.
If you had that chance to apologize, would you apologize?
Oh, I have. I have. Absolutely. I've had the opportunity many times. I apologized several times.
Is there a side of you that thinks the two of you will get back together?
I don't really know. I don't really know. It's hard to say.
Do you want that?
Do I want that? I've always wanted a family. Can't really do it by yourself. I mean, I guess I can. I will have to now. But I don't really know. I'm only in control of myself. I can't be responsible for Pamela, so I'm not really sure where she's at. I've gotten nothing but conflicting, contradictory, mixed messages from her. From I love you to the other side of the spectrum, you know. It's hard to tell. I don't know.
When we come back, Tommy Lee talks about his children and shares exclusive home movies of Pamela Anderson Lee, only with Fox Files.
Coming up, Tommy Lee as you've never seen him before.
I won't be the weekend dad, and it won't be the once-a-month dad.
I love you.
No matter what.
Then, where is the cast of Seinfeld?
I wish I had 8 of me right now.
And the heroes and zeros of the week.
I'm sitting across from a person who's getting ready to write a large sum of money for an automobile, and I've purchased vehicles before, and I know exactly what they're going through. It can be nerve-wracking. The no hassle, no haggle price allows Saturn to be so much at ease with the customer and allows us to treat everyone so fair. It really doesn't matter whether you do a short-term lease, a long-term lease, short-term financing, long-term financing, or cash. Once you're in the Saturn family, you're in the Saturn family. I am going to see this person again. You see them at the supermarket, and you see them in a restaurant, so we want to make sure they are completely comfortable with the entire process.
Hi, Oscar.
Hey, how's it going, champ?
Oscar, you have so many friends.
Yes, it's important for me to keep in touch with the people I care about.
Me too, but my phone bill can get expensive.
You should use 10-10-3-2-1.
I've heard of it.
With 10-10-3-2-1, I save a lot. 50% on every call over 20 minutes.
50%? That's big.
It's easy. Just dial 10-10-3-2-1, then 1 and the number.
I'll try it.
Call your sister and tell I said hi.
Hey.
Who doesn't want to save 50%?
My dad taught me what it means to be a true fan. What it means to come out and give 110%. Right, Dad? Yeah! I'm more the quiet type. Oh, yeah! Well, the cold doesn't bother me so much. It's the chili dogs. Oh, that's why I bring out the Rolaids.
Rolaids starts to neutralize acid in less than 10 seconds, getting you back on your game fast.
It's just like Grandpa always says. You gotta be your best out here.
Rolaids, R-O-L-A-I-D-S, spells relief.
Mom doesn't make it out to the games. I don't know why.
Welcome to preschool, where germs get passed around like a rubber ball. A challenge for any disinfectant. But controlled studies proved Lysol disinfectant spray plays a key role in helping to reduce the spread of illness-causing germs. So make Lysol spray part of your family's regimen. Look for commonly touched hotspots and zap them with Lysol spray. In your home, nothing kills more harmful germs faster. Lysol spray helps protect. You have our word on it.
All good things come to those who wait.
Joel Siegel calls Ronin the best action film of the year. Time magazine calls it a sly masterpiece. Robert De Niro is excellent.
They don't make it easy.
A first-rate thriller, says People magazine. Rolling Stone calls it the real deal in action fireworks. And Gene Shalit claims for high-octane action, check out Ronin.
Thank you.
More enjoyable than all the summer blockbusters put together.
What are you?
Ronin, rated R, starts Friday.
The San Francisco Giants head for the Rockies with renewed playoff hopes. What are their chances? The story at 10.
Can you combine loving fatherhood with hell-raising rock and roll? That's exactly what Tommy Lee wants to do, as my exclusive interview continues from his home in Malibu, California. There's another side of Tommy Lee that the public has never seen. A loving father with 2 young sons. A man struggling with his demons, drugs, alcohol, and rage. A man facing the loss of his family as he once knew it. A man trying to put his life back together. You seem to be, at least sitting here, a very different guy than the one I might read about. I mean, the guy who's out partying all night, but nobody can keep up with, who's, who is the ultimate player. Is it both? Neither?
I party, but I don't party with drugs or alcohol. It has been kind of a roller coaster for me with substances. So at this moment, I have no plans to continue being that guy.
Have you done the rehab, the AA, all of the programs?
Yeah.
Does it work?
It's such a cheesy saying, but it's like it works if you work it. It's all about you. I mean, there's probably a bazillion different ways for people to stay sober or to quit any addiction. It's really about the person.
How do people react to you when you say, no, I'm trying to stay straight?
Well, people now know I have 2 kids. I got a lot of responsibility to those guys and to myself. It's a different time for me. It's not a couple of years ago, just Pamela and I on vacation being wild and crazy, silly kids having fun. It's not about that anymore. We still have fun, but got to wake up pretty early these days and take care of little guys. And there's a lot more to my life now than there was a couple of years ago. So.
Since getting out of jail, how have you felt? Things been different to you?
Yeah, sensory overload. Right when I got home, and actually a friend took me over to his place at the beach, and I sat in the jacuzzi and poured tons of bubble bath in it, and it was like, whoa, wow, this is amazing. Clipped some roses and gardenias from my gardens, and I walked around for, you know, an hour just smelling them all.
Tommy shared his most intimate family photos with me as he remembered blissful times with Pamela, Brandon, and Dean.
Brandon's got a little drum set upstairs. So
the
cute.
drums.
Yeah, there we got remarried Christmas. Well, not remarried, just renewed our vows, sorry.
You said the two babies were both born upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Were you there?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Did you help?
Yeah, I helped. I helped deliver both of them. Crying, and oh my God, this is unbelievable.
Now, Brandon is how old now?
He's 2.
And Dylan is?
8 months now.
When's the last time you saw him?
Monday.
So you have seen them since you got out?
Yeah, they came over and we rocked out.
Looking at the pictures in here, you're into this.
Oh, yeah. And I've wanted to have kids for a long time. It's a dream come true.
What have those guys brought to your life?
A lot. I could go on for hours about this. There's that part of me that's it's still in there, this little kid. Here I am regressing to a 2-year-old temporarily, and it's really fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm having the best time of my life. I wish I could see them more. I wish this wasn't happening to me. But that's the way it is right now.
Does she understand how you feel about the kids?
Yeah.
Can you even imagine being the once-a-month dad?
No. That horrifies me. And I won't be the weekend dad, and I won't be the once-a-month dad. No matter what. They don't deserve that. They didn't ask for that. Not a chance. I'll do everything in my power to be their father. That's what they need.
Tommy Lee gave Fox Files an exclusive look at this home video. It was his first Father's Day present from baby son Brandon and wife Pamela. When the going gets rough, Tommy still has his first love, music. Motley Crue will begin a world tour in October and release a long-awaited greatest hits album.
Is there any concern when you look at a rock star's career, when you're sort of turning 36, and after that is 37, 38, 40? Now, the Stones can keep it up.
Yeah.
But they are an exception. Is there any thought, gee, who am I going to be in 5 years, in 10 years?
I'm still young at heart. I got my ear to the ground, you know, with the music on the street. If at some point physically for me I can't play anymore, I will continue to do music. I'll produce records and help other people make records. I'm definitely not even close to packing it up.
Are you happy at all?
Yes, I'm happy. I'm hopeful. But I'm in a lot of pain at the same time.
Can you see the end of the road yet?
I go through, you know, we're sorry, but the light at the end of the tunnel has been temporarily turned off. I go through those, and I go through, wow, man, so good to be out and just thankful and grateful for everything. And there's times where I crash. I crash hard. Hard. I cry. I'm normal.
What do you want more than anything right now?
Well, I would love to have my family back. But like I said, I don't know if that's possible. I'm only in control of me.
Fascinating guy, Catherine, but what did you think of his story?
I think this is someone who realizes there are no more free passes, and the time in jail and the prospect of losing his family really shook him up. He seems to be taking his counseling very, very seriously.
And what about Pamela Anderson Lee? What's she doing?
Well, she has a new syndicated show that starts this week. And according to recent interviews, she hasn't ruled out getting back together with Tommy.
Coming up, good news for couch potatoes. We found the cast of your favorite sitcom to see what they've done since Seinfeld signed off.
They asked me to bend stuff a lot.
Then, who's been naughty and who's been nice? The heroes and zeros of the week.
Trains now go 300 miles an hour. Mail, 3,000 miles a second. Athletes continually break records. So how come pain relief isn't faster? Introducing Advil Liquid Gels, the first and only pain reliever in a faster-acting liquid-filled capsule that's gentle on your stomach. On tough pain, Advil Liquid Gels are stronger and faster than extra-strength Tylenol. Headaches to muscle aches. New Advil Liquid Gels. Advanced medicine for pain. Just got faster.
Savor the summer. Live Maine lobster, specially priced at $14.99. At Red Lobster, the season isn't over.
My dentist told me about this new gum.
It's in the toothpaste aisle.
This gum cleans, whitens, freshens.
Toothpaste aisle.
Toothpaste aisle.
New Arm & Hammer Dental Care Gum with baking soda reduces unsightly plaque up to 25%. Dental Care Gum.
Toothpaste aisle.
Good evening, I'm Leslie Griffith in the KTVU newsroom. The money from parking tickets is supposed to go into city coffers, right? Not in this East Bay city. Tonight on the 10 o'clock news, find out who's really getting the cash from your citations.
The new Dodge Durango is like no sport utility you've ever seen. Say, for instance, you live in a neighborhood with a rhino problem. In a Durango, you could outrun him with the most powerful engine offered in the class. Or you could move him with its best-in-class towing capacity. Or, if push really came to shove, Durango's superior horn would prevail. Durango, new ground for the new Dodge.
Seems like everybody wants to get their paws on what they're setting out at Black Angus.
You can save $8. Get 2 tender filet mignon dinners with a crispy zucchini appetizer and a huge hunk of sky-high mud pie.
There's nothing better.
Special filet mignon dinner, just $28 for 2. That's over $8 off the regular price.
We just got the new Washington Mutuals in.
No way.
Check out this 98 Scott Musmansky.
Awesome.
Closed 16 home loans in one day.
Oh, cool. Is that what I think it is?
Yep, a Dolores Hagen's Teller rookie card.
How much is that?
A Hagen's rookie? You better start saving your lunch money, kid.
Let Washington Mutual make a fan out of you. Washington Mutual. Join the club.
Hey, there's still time to enjoy model year clearance at your Jeep dealer. Hurry and own a new Wrangler for under 15 grand. Or drive away with an outstanding deal on a new Cherokee Sport. You'll even find you can get great lease rates on the 98 Grand Cherokee. During model year clearance, we have a few different offers that seem to evoke the same response. At your California Jeep dealer. Who else?
Catch the Giants and Rockies, Friday at 6 on Fox 2.
The new TV season gets underway this week, but millions of people still miss the cast of Seinfeld. So Fox Files set out to find out what the old gang's been up to. When Seinfeld signed off for the last time last spring, couch potatoes everywhere feared for the future. Yes, of course, they'll live on in syndication, but with no new antics from Jerry, Elaine, George, Kramer, and the gang, the television horizon looked nothing if not bleak. But we've learned there is life after Seinfeld, and so has the cast. Fox Files hit the red carpet at the Emmy Awards to see what the old gang's been up to.
I'm still alive. I refuse to go away.
Wayne Knight, the artist formerly known as Newman.
I'm on Third Rock from the Sun as a regular now, and I'm doing films and animation and a bunch of stuff.
He may have hung up J. Peterman's urban sombrero, but actor John O'Hurley is wearing many hats these days.
I like to keep a lot of plates spinning. You know, it's tough to hit a moving target.
Ah, the mighty Alaskan cabbage.
He's got TV commercials.
Down at Oh, well said, my friend.
Movies.
So you filled those hours trying to get Clinton elected.
John O'Hurley.
And even concerts. John's a busy man these days.
I wish I had 8 of me right now, I really do.
In his rare spare time, O'Hurley has been known to play a round of golf with Patrick Warburton, a.k.a. Putty, Elaine's barbaric boyfriend.
Still live in the same house, still finishing the same deck in the backyard, and still have a few of the same kids, you know, with the addition of a new one.
Warburton hasn't let his Seinfeld fame go to his head, and he's not resting on his residuals. Besides being a proud pop of 3, Patrick has a Showtime movie coming out, and of course, there are commercials.
License, please. Was I speeding? Negative, but I see you're driving the all-new Seville STS with the North Star system.
What?
It's Lois. She's in trouble.
And he's still working with Jerry Seinfeld, sort of.
He idolizes me. It's embarrassing.
I love doing voiceover work. I love doing cartoon voiceover work.
Patrick's the voice of Jerry's super sidekick.
They asked me to bend stuff a lot.
Although Putty has painted his face for the last time, don't be surprised if you see Patrick on his own show someday.
We'll come up with something that's never been done.
At 72, Jerry Stiller may be the hippest Seinfeld alum.
Quit wasting time. Get to the bands. I want to hear the whole.
He recently yucked it up with his son Ben Stiller on the MTV Video Music Awards. Plus, he's got a new role on a new sitcom on a new network, co-starring on The King of Queens on CBS. And as for the Fab Four, Julia Louis-Dreyfus had 2 children during the show's 9-year run, so now she's taking time out to be with her young sons. Michael Richards, whose character Kramer really knew how to make an entrance, was Kramer-esque when we asked what he's up to.
I have to run inside and get prepared to make a presentation. David Copperfield.
Good luck.
Ireland, here we come.
Good luck.
We caught up with Jason Alexander after the Emmy Awards, and well...
Stuff. I got a lot of stuff.
Well, that's always good to have stuff.
Isn't that nice?
Very nice.
You can look for stuff at a theater near you.
Series co-creator Larry David, who quit in the middle, then came back for the finale, moved on to the big screen with moderate success.
We're going to do that shot again anyway from this side.
His movie, Sour Grapes, didn't fare that well, but David was named the 2nd richest man in entertainment by Forbes magazine. And who was the first? Seinfeld himself. Forbes magazine says Jerry tops the list at $225 million.
Do I like to shop?
Oh, yes.
He sure can. Since he has finished his comedy tour, Jerry's moved back to the Big Apple and purchased a swank pad on Manhattan's trendy Upper West Side. So, is there life after Seinfeld?
There is life after Seinfeld. It's a little cheaper, but it's good life. It's a good life.
And yada, yada, yada. Fox Files will be right back.
Coming up, Ginger Spice could be a hero or a zero, but you have to stay tuned to see. Heroes and Zeros is next.
You don't need a license for hair like this. All you need is a little attitude. And fade-resistant preference by L'Oreal. Powerful Stay True colorants that resist fading mean my color won't fade out. Special conditioners mean my hair won't dry out. And just look, rich color, golden color, bright and brand new color, color that won't fade out or dry out. You too can have this color, but only if you live by one simple code. I'm worth it. Fade-resistant preference by L'Oreal.
Fill her up, please.
Now Chex has a snack time mix for your kid on the go. Chex School Fuel, a sweet new recipe on specially marked boxes. In minutes, you transform brown sugar, Chex, and chocolate into a treat that'll rev up their taste buds.
Keep the change.
New Chex School Fuel. You make it, kids love it. Put more cash into your kid's school. Clip box tops for education logos from General Mills products.
San Francisco is cracking down on tattoo parlors and body piercing businesses. Tonight at 10 o'clock, Health and Science editor John Fowler explains how the new rules will affect people on both ends of the needle.
Steve Young told us he always wanted to drive a pace car at the raceway. So we gave him the Toyota Corolla and told him to have a blast. We probably should have also told him that with the Corolla's aerodynamic styling and powerful engine,
I'm out of here!
It's easy to get carried away.
Wow!
Now you can pick up a Corolla with APR financing starting as low as 2.4%. See your Northern California Toyota dealer today.
Fear. It's waiting for you at Blockbuster. We've got more copies of terrifying new releases than ever before, so get your movie and go home happy.
Rent Deep Rising tonight and go home happy. No one has survived to tell them what happened on this ship.
There's something down here.
Now the only question is,
They're wiping us out one at a time.
who's next? Deep Rising, rated R, rented tonight at Blockbuster Video.
Rolling with a Ram Tough Magnum motor, get a new Dodge Ram or a new Dakota. The new Dodge.
To find the secret of this new Dodge Ram quad cab, should you choose door number 1, door number 2, door number 3, or door number 4? Answer, all of the above. Add air at no extra charge, and the coolest entrance or exit you can make is in a Ram quad cab.
The new Dodge.
You've waited for them. Now here they are, this week's Heroes and Zeros.
Number 66 gets nicked. There it goes! As Mark McGwire hit what would have been his 66th home run, an overzealous fan leaned over and caught it. The ump said the homer didn't count. So for the fan and the ump, we're talking double zeros. Battle of the Bands. In Texas, they take football so seriously, even the marching bands get in on the action. The bands from Prairie View A&M and Southern University beat more than their drums. They beat each other. So for turning the halftime show into a hullabaloo, the marching bands are zeros. Politics and sports make strange bedfellows. Ted Kennedy had home run fever. Well, sort of.
Mike McGuire and Sammy Souser.
The senator played the name game, and he lost. So he's a zero. Going once, going twice. First she left the Spice Girls. Then Jerry Halliwell, that's Ginger Spice to you, auctioned off all her Spice stuff. And all the proceeds went to charity. So, for going from Spice Girl to Nice Girl, Jerry Halliwell is a hero.
Thank you so much.
And we'll be right back after this.
Coming up next on the 10 o'clock news, Hurricane George is bearing down on South Florida. We'll have a live report from Miami Beach.
President Clinton today found something that's becoming increasingly common, a friendly and supportive crowd.
The business of tattooing and body piercing in San Francisco just got a little tougher. We'll tell you why.
And the Oakland School District issues a warning after 2 students are raped.
The 10 o'clock news is next.
2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on the sesame seed bun.
Get back with Big Mac and win. Peel off the timepiece ticket on a medium or a large soft drink or a Big Mac, and you could win then and now prizes like a 68 VW Beetle from then and a 98 VW New Beetle from now. Win both. So get up and get down to McDonald's, you dig?
I don't remember any of this, but it's fun.
Did somebody say McDonald's?
These days, everything's faster. So how come pain relief isn't faster? Introducing Advil Liquid Gels. On tough pain, they're stronger and faster than extra-strength Tylenol. New Advil Liquid Gels. Pain relief just got faster.
You look awful. Sinus pressure, huh? You know how Advil handles your tough pain fast? Well, Advil Cold and Sinus handles tough sinus pain fast. This is in this, plus a decongestant. That's why they call it Advil Cold and Sinus.
For feminine itching, I want more than fast relief. I want to protect that delicate skin.
Now, improved Vagisil cream has 2 medicines to stop itching fast, protect delicate skin.
Vagisil is what I needed.
Vagisil stops itch fast, protects delicate skin.
My dentist told me about this new gum.
It's in the toothpaste aisle.
This gum cleans, whitens, freshens?
Toothpaste aisle.
Toothpaste aisle.
New Arm & Hammer Dental Care Gum with baking soda reduces unsightly plaque up to 25%. Dental Care Gum.
Toothpaste aisle.
And that's all we have time for tonight. I'm Catherine Cryer.
And I'm John Scott. For all of us here at Fox Files, good night.
If you would like a videotape or transcript of this program, please call Federal Document Clearinghouse at 1-888-44-FOX-88 or order through our website at foxfiles.foxnews.com.
She's ruthless
Honey, I'm gonna wipe the floor with you.
and won't let any